Oh my God, you can't make this stuff up. And this is not by accident. Sometimes there's a forcing function and the universe just forces you to just give it up, you know? And I'm just thinking, like, because you know where I got the whole 9 circles of hell, you know? I understand what's going on here. I know what hell is. And, you know, you just can't keep shit to yourself. You really can't. Nobody can keep shit to themselves. Once you set those beasts free, you have a whole other perspective on life. Like, a whole other perspective on life. And so when I was, like, just looking at words, doing wordplay and stuff, you know, I have, like, remedies, remedy, medicine, and holistic, hollow, and then, yeah, you have caustic. And I would say stuff through talk to text, and it would pick up a word that sounds almost the same, and then you're like, ooh. Those were the keys to provide me with the relationship with some of these words and where they came from. And then I'm looking at sphinx. Like, who the hell would name something that's half, like, a head of a human, body of a lion, wings of a falcon? What the hell is that? And I'm thinking, like, you know, what is it guarding? What is the sphinx guarding? When you wonder why there's so many assholes in this world. Why there's so many assholes. I've come upon so many assholes out there. Like, so many. And I'm like, what makes them such assholes? Well, yeah, they're dying. Okay, that's one reason why people are assholes. And why are they called assholes? And they're holding a bunch of treasures. A bunch of deadly demons in their body, causing them to behave in certain ways and become assholes. And then what is the Sphinx guarding? He's guarding the treasures. You get past the Sphinx, you get to the treasures, then you have the curses, the viruses. See, when you go into a tomb of an Egyptian king, and there's all these curses, that, you know, they said that there are people, archaeologists that opened up like King Tut, and then people died, you know, not too long after that. Well, I wouldn't be surprised when you have so many B cells and T cells being housed up in the tomb, in the colon of the earth, and then somebody uncovers it, gets past the Sphinx, the Sphincter, and release the demons, release the Pandora's box. Holy shit, there's the allegory. Now you get Pandora's box. Now you get with all these aggressive viruses that are releasing the demons from people's lymphatic system. And then you think about me finally revealing that that's my secret. It's why I'm so fucking intelligent now. I release the demons. They don't control me anymore. And I'm able to take on new information and see the relationships and be driven enough to sit down enough and strategize my life so I can do this. And it means I got past the sphincter. I understand how everything works inside my body because I ain't afraid of it. Oh, I know. And let me tell you, not many people are going to understand that once you get past the sphincter, you're not going to realize how much freedom you will have. Not having somebody else get past your sphincter, but you get past your own sphincter and release the demons. Literally release the demons. And so now I understand, you know, why people are assholes. I really get it. People are full of shit and they're full of B cells and T cells. They're driving their personalities and their behaviors, and they get triggered that easily. And it's, I'm telling you, these B cell memories and T cells, you don't realize that's the crux of all the allegory in politics, in all religions, and even the scientific dogmas. That's what they're controlling, is your lymphatic system. That's what they're splicing and dicing and putting together and docking the proteins and trying to figure out how to advance humanity. But you got to have a strong prototype. Humans, you got to become very strong and learn how to fight for yourself. And you also have to release the demons. And you will be exposed to so many microbial demons out there. And yeah, there's people out there that are assholes, but there's a lot of nice people. A lot of people who hide behind the love. And I told you, I warned you of that. And so, you know, forget what people behave like or forget the hormones that they put out and realize that no matter how nice or how cute or how ugly or how whatever people are, you're getting their demons. You're getting their microbes. They will commandeer your system, and you have to release those demons, but you can't do it in a way where it takes away your intelligence, your substance. And I figured out the strategy. Yeah, it took me a better part of since 2016 to finally give you all the information, but I had to experience this COVID-19. I had to experience every single variant that came thereafter. I had to figure out how to release my own demons. I had to figure out what it felt like to have a drop in sugar and have to feed myself vast amounts of food to make up for the loss of being exposed to those variants. And then having to release the demons yet again that processed everything. See, people don't get that they're so full of the demons, they've cured themselves of the demons inside those T cells and B cells with either J juice or other types of detoxes and supplements. They're reinforcing their little demons inside. And that's what drives their personality. That's what drives their stagnancy. That's what drives everything they do. And so it'll be very difficult to see people not only evolve, but to adapt to a new simulation because they have the old world inside of them. When you have that many B cell memories swirling around in you and you're curing it with either J juice because you've already done the resets, or you're using other types of therapeutics or medicine or Botox or remedies and detoxes and plastic surgery and all that stuff, if you're not releasing all that, you're holding the old world inside of you and you will die with the old world. You will not make it to the new world. And I can see that already because you know how hard it is to gain weight in this society when you're so under an image. Yeah, I had to gain weight so I can deal with these viruses. I don't want to be cured. I'm not taking J juice every single time I feel something. So what do? I eat food. I'm already exposed to the demons when I'm out there in public with so many people giving up their lymphatic system. Basically, Pandora's box has been open since 2019. We had a little bit of the Pandora's box before 2019, but somebody kicked open the door of the tomb of the Sphinx, of the tomb of all the pharaohs, kicked open the door. Pandora's box is open. Now all the viruses in everybody's bodies are out there circulating, and yeah, you can get a different therapeutic, but all you're doing is just activating your immune system. And you hang out with people, you're activating your immune system, and you're releasing those demons. You're taking on other people's demons, and this is what causes people to go down with the fucking ship with everybody else. And how can you tell people who are so into their social capital, into their social lifestyle, into all of their, politics, religion, and science, that you're going to have to really watch your movements. You're going to have to actually stay home and regenerate. You know how I've gotten this intelligent with all of my different findings and revelations and things that are like making the connections? Because I stay home more than not. I work from a computer. I work from a phone. I make my movements minimal because I know how aggressive this environment is, because I can feel every single variant that I come in contact with. I don't cure it or therapize it with any type of remedy or detox or whatever else that's out there that people use so they don't feel shit. I feel everything, and then I recognize stuff for what it is, and I call people out and call myself out on it. And I blow my nose. And if I have to release the poop because I'm constipated, I don't use chili juice. I don't use any kind of detox or anything. I just put my finger in my butt and I dig it out if it's that difficult. And so how you're like, the magic is getting past the sphincter. Obviously, you release the demons. They're not controlling you anymore. That's what the Sphinx actually represents over there in Egypt. It really represents the treasures. It represents how they control humanity. It's through your lymphatic system and then stagnating your filtration process and your exit points. That's why people go to the doctors, because they've already had all the different drugs that stop them from diarrhea and throwing up and had stuff for constipation. Okay. And then if they're not doing any of those types of remedies or whatever, then they're breathing in their friends and family's microbes that use those remedies. And so those microbes are full of B cells and T cell memories that actually control their memories, physiological memories that will go and commandeer your alimentary canal. And then people don't poop the way they should. They've already caused themselves to be dependent, whether it's on J juice for every single time they can't poop or they have an issue, or they're using Imodium AD because they're having too much diarrhea, or they're using other types like milk of magnesia, Metamucil, Pepto-Bismol. And so they've royally effed up their immune system, royally effed up their alimentary canal. And then they think that they can just lead their lives the same way as before and do J juice. No, I don't even do J juice anymore. You realize I have been off the J juice. When you think about it, I did maybe one saltwater flush in February. And then before that, like the year before that, maybe early or late last year, I had a major respiratory infection from my initial COVID exposure, like actual exposure, because I was out hanging out with people in 2020. I went to a wedding, went to a bachelor party, was breathing in microbes as the kickoff of this season was just ramping up. But I was cured. I did a few saltwater, I was doing a few saltwater flushes after the bachelorette party, thinking I was going to detox myself. And so I put myself in a cured state. And then when I got exposed to another variant, it broke through. I got a major breakthrough infection. And that's what had me cough. That's what I told you. You have to use your diaphragm to cough out. You can't be always going through your second lines, which is your sphincter, to get stuff out, because you will cure yourself and you will take away substance and you will take away intelligence. And so then I realized that when I actually was coughing out all those little microbes, yeah, I did see a presence in my room. It was very aggressive. I even heard something. I can remember hearing something. I can remember the energy that was in my room when I was coughing up a storm, blowing my nose. And I had blown my nose the last couple of days too, like insane. Like I have a sort of a bloody nose on this side because of whatever I was exposed to was really aggressive and it snuck up on me. And so I blow my nose. So ever since that time, last year, I only did 2 shots. Thank you, Tilda. I only did 2 shots. of the Jilly Juice. That was it in the beginning. And then in the beginning of feeling this COVID, when I actually felt the respiratory side, didn't do any more, fed my body with food. And that's all I'm doing, responding to all these variants. After I've done all those saltwater flushes and Jilly Juice flushes, then I made myself feel the mucus and cough stuff out. Like I had to be at home and I was in bed. I'm telling you, it's going to take you sleeping. It's going to take you pooping. It's going to take you, sometimes you have diarrhea because you got exposed to a variant, not because you did it with the J juice, because you got exposed to a variant that triggered your second lines of defense, the diarrhea, throwing up, whatever. And sometimes you have to feel the hives. I'm telling you. And I feed the energy. And now when I know that a new virus comes in, and let's say I have PMS before it's like I would even have interruptions in my period. And so I'd feel the digestive bloating. I don't do any private messages, Tilda. But anyways, when I would feel digestive bloating, I would get the poop out. And I don't do any crypto either, so nobody sell me any crypto, please. But anyways, so you got to realize that I respond to all these new variants. When I get bloated and everything, I pull the poop out with my finger. Sometimes I have to. If you're so afraid to touch your body, if you're seriously afraid to touch your body and you think it's like taboo to actually get past your sphincter and understand what it's like through the 9 circles of hell, through all the sphincter muscles, that's how I know about the 9 circles of hell. That's how I know about this stuff, because I already know my own sphincter muscles. I already have released so many demons within me, and it can be painful releasing those demons. You feel the cramps. And so that's what that sphinx represents, is the fact that the medical holistic system controls Your retention controls your release, and they also know how many viral variants that are out there that is going to cause you to then turn to all your remedies and your cures. And that's what you're under right now, is that type of world. That's what all the Rosicrucian stuff, all the Illuminati, Freemasonry, whatever, it's all hinged on your immune system. Everything is hinged on your immune system. And so some of you will live out your life in this old simulation, because I can't do anything for you. You can't do it for yourself. I can't do it for you. And I appreciate you participating for as long as you did. Others of you will fight for your life. Others of you will not be afraid to release those demons that are in your colon. Because I showed you the map of the digestive system and the alimentary canal. And you know there's blockages in all of that stuff. You know there's blockages, and you're going to have to spend some time doing initial waterfalls, and that's it. And then you're going to have to go and wrestle with your own alimentary canal at the bottom end of your system. And then you're going to have to let your immune system and your body repair the damage between your mouth all the way to your anus. And it's going to be painful. You're going to have things come to surface, hives, rashes. Oh, your body's going to take on bloating. You're going to gain some weight. You might even have skin issues. Oh, you're going to see all the curses that you ever been put to sleep through all the cures market, through all the plastic surgery, Botox, whatever, everything that you've ever tried to hide behind. That's going to fall away. And then the real part of you that's going through the shape-shifting process is going to come to surface. Eventually you'll earn back your symmetry and your balance, but you got to pay the piper. And some of you have painted yourself in a corner because you're in industries where it's all about image. Can you afford to take time off of work and deal with a skin rash, deal with bloating and farting and who knows what else you have to deal with? Some of you can't and won't refuse because of how many B-cell programming memories that are running the shit out of you, literally running the shit out of you. And then your friends and family reinforce it. And when your very life and your very worthiness and your value is based upon your social capital, are you going to go and upset that type of programming and take on a new programming of wanting to live indefinitely? I don't think so. So this protocol is for people who already have extricated themselves from the mainstream for the most part, that they have actually set their life up to finally deal with what they need to deal with on their own, because they know if you're out there in the public all the time, you're taking on so much stuff that you can't afford to right now. And even then, if you try to balance both worlds, which you can, it's going to be downright exhausting. That's why people are having so many chronic issues. I have people, who work at grocery stores out here, and they are constantly coughing. They're right now calling in sick because they have been out. They're one of the essential workers at a grocery store. And now she cannot stop coughing. She's been calling in sick because she's been exposed to so many different people. Even when they were wearing masks, she's been exposed. They take the mask off, which is crazy now, but whatever. What are you going to do? And she is so exhausted, and she is at the doctor's almost all the time to figure out why she's coughing. They can't figure out why she's coughing. Well, I can tell you why. You know how many B cells and T cells she inhaled within the last couple years during this whole pandemic? And she was out there on the front lines, and now her body's paying for it. And so you're going to realize that when you're out there, you are taking on microbe by microbe by microbe. Some of you have what it takes. Some of you will feel the stuff and then it'll disappear. My husband felt stuff. He was out for a week. I was feeding him a bunch of salty soup and keeping him relatively hydrated. Whatever I could do. He slept. He had to do the resting and all that stuff. he probably pooped a bunch. He does poop a lot, which is good. But other people, and he's strong. Okay, I know he has predispositions, but I think he got through the initial one, the one that happened in 2020, where he basically almost fell off the back of the dump truck that he was on because he got exposed to such an aggressive variant that he almost passed out. He thought he had a heart attack. He didn't have a heart attack. But he got exposed, and his body still kept him going. And then I kept warning, do not take any more pills, Jason. Do not take any more powders. Do not take any more stuff. Do not take anything more for these. You have to feel this shit, because the more you take of the Tylenol and the Advil and all the other crap, it's going to work against you. You got to feel this. So he's been feeling the pain. But other people out there who have a lot more predispositions, a lot more weaknesses, they're getting cannibalized by their profession. They're getting cannibalized by their friends and family. They're getting cannibalized by all their social interaction. And they're so under the influence. They don't feel it until it's too late. Some areas of the country have cleaner air. A little bit more spread out. Not as many people who are sick. I am in a town where so many people are sick. Like so many of them. I know in California too. Ohio. So if you're like, I've seen people there who live out there in Hong Kong or in other homogenized zones strictly for the extremely wealthy, and they don't allow too many outsiders to come in. So the Hollywood and the upper elite, they're in their more high homogenized zones, so they can afford to be out there because they know who's coming into their world. But I'm here fighting I'm in the trenches. So are you guys. How many of you are going to survive the trenches? That's what you're in right now. We're in the Hunger Games. And you have to be so strong. You got to be a cat. You got to be Katniss, man. You got to be Katniss. I swear. You got to represent your district. You got to represent. Some of you are not going to make it. Some of you will. And we'll show, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. We found a way to stay alive. We figured it out. But you got to get past the sphincter. Got to get past the sphincter. No wonder I was surpassing everyone around me. No wonder I was gaining so much intelligence. Because I'm already strategic about what I do. I don't buy into the mainstream. I don't allow my friends and family to put the fear of therapeutics or the fear of not getting a therapeutic on me. I didn't get any therapeutics. I came this fucking close to getting a therapeutic because Jason was getting pressured by people around him. But at the 11th hour, we backed out of that. So I think that we definitely gave ourselves another leg up. I'm not saying the therapeutics are bad, but I'll tell you this, when you have now another programming in your body that you have to fight against, that's extra energy that you have to go through. So that's why I released a lot of people from my world, because they had no intention to really step it up. I don't know what people were in my world for. I really don't. It really wasn't for them. And it wasn't for me. I don't know what it was. I don't know what they were thinking. Because I'm going to hold people who are next to me to an extremely high standard. That's why no one's next to me now. That's why I don't work with anybody now. Because you couldn't hold up to my expectations. And I have a high expectations because, let me tell you, you got to be able to keep up with me if you're going to work with me. We got to be working the same wavelength. And if we're not, and if I'm constantly thinking like, what the hell here? No. I don't want to torture anyone that way either. Okay. So I have to be cognizant of the fact that the people are at different levels of whatever, and I can't hurry it up, and that's my own issue, and that's okay. That's why I work alone now. But I get it now. You gotta get past the sphincter. Gotta get past the sphinx. The curses, the viruses, are the B cells and T cell demons. That's what all these movies are about, are the demons. Those little B cells and T cells, the antigen programming that creates the antibodies. And they have the B cell memories. They are what tortures people. They are what cause people to commit suicide. They are what makes people assholes. They are the very things that run your society, are the B cell, T cell memories. Those are the serial killers too. They're full of them. And the programming of abuse and everything else made them even more treacherous. And you got to know this. You got to know this. And so now finally I come full circle. And there's the secret. The secret to intelligence is you get past the guards. Get past the sphincter. Oh my God, it's so funny. It's so funny. This is so ironic, but it's so comical, but it's not. Everyone's afraid of their butt because they made you afraid of your butt. And don't be giving your ass to anybody. Your ass belongs to yourself, not to anybody else. All right, bye.